Even though it was a tragedy for two families, but it could have been a tragedy for 242 others. When we had the church shooter in Texas, and the 73-year-old volunteer security guy shot him in the head at 50 feet and
quickly
and dropped him down in 6 seconds.
Yeah.
And was his name Jack Wilson or something? It's a pretty common, straightforward name. And I think you're right. Jack Wilson, wasn't that it? And so that was, when you looked at that, of course, the Babylon Bee put out.
Jack Wilson is his name.
Said that about that Democrats and liberals are upset that a man defended himself and others with a legal gun.
Right.
But so when you look at that again, you can't really argue. And did y'all see the video footage? I did. I watched the video footage, because they were streaming their church service live. So I mean, you can see it, and they put the where you couldn't see the two people who were unfortunately killed in the video, but you can see how quickly he takes that thing, and I mean
he didn't hesitate.
How about he made a headshot at 50 feet at a moving target who was armed.
Yeah.
And this is the thing now with churches. They have security teams, and we certainly have them. And as I told you guys before, when I get the honor of going to speak somewhere, now they go through a security detail and says, here's what we do if we have a shooter and all of that. But you really, it's kind of impossible to argue the fact that this man who brought a gun into a church with the intent to kill innocent people, the only recourse you have against this man once he's made that decision is for you to be someone who legally has a weapon that you know how to use to protect yourself and others, right?
Yeah, I mean, It just,
aren't there 242 people that were glad that
it just
Mr. Wilson had his gun?
Rick, it seems like very common sense to us, the way we were raised. I mean, I don't see, but I was just reading some of the stories tied to that story. One of them says Virginia delegate introduces Jack Wilson Act to repeal state's church carry ban. So obviously in Virginia, there is a law that says you cannot carry in a church, and they're wanting to do it. There's another story here from It says Bloomberg says the average citizen like Jack Wilson shouldn't be allowed to carry guns in public. So, I mean,
Jack Wilson knows how to use his gun.
I know 240-something people would disagree with that today.
Wasn't this a fairly new law that they had passed for that? Because I think they had similar laws before. And now if the church can ban it if they want to.
Yeah.
But
that goes back to what Bubba's talking about the private property owner and the decision versus your right to carry.
Yeah, that's been a debate we've had, and I don't know how you come up with that. I don't know the pecking order there. I would think maybe property rights, but I don't know.
Well, and if you have not seen the video,
I don't know. Don't send me your email. Open carry people.
I would tell you this.
I don't know.
Don't send your. I mean, if you're going to, they got my mind. I'm saying it. If you watch the video, the thing, and I mean, even Sherry, she even told me, she said, "I'm going to need you to turn that off." It's not gruesome to see because they do blur out the people who are shot, and the guy gets shot and goes right down. But what is very difficult is the screaming in there. The screaming in there is, man. Yeah. Because you hear that, I'm telling so watch him. He's up against the wall. Same, we're watching it right now. See the shooter to the right holding the gun who shoots two people that I guess he intended on shooting them. He just stands up with his gun, and I think they're about to take communion. And then he shoots these two. Now watch Jack here on the corner. He right there, and then he comes up, boom, he's down.
Drops.
Yeah.
Wow.
And down.
He
that was quick.
Yeah,
but now wasn't he trained? What was his FBI?
And he an instructor too.
Yeah. And so
you hope that guy's there that has his skills.
Wow.
Yeah, because
saved a lot of people.
Yeah, and see, all these people right here are alive and not shot and not maimed because Jack Wilson knew how to use his weapon, and he had a weapon, and he stops the shooter because most of these shooters. They like soft targets because they're cowards and they're wicked and they're evil, and what they don't like is for somebody to be able to shoot back.
Yeah, if you mention this, I apologize. Go ahead, Greg.
In this state, if you're a psycho looking for a soft target, maybe the church won't be it.
Yeah, right.
It used to be.
In the video we were rolling from Adler just then, the amount of people after it happens that are coming with pistols. Have you seen?
Yeah,
I saw at least three.
Well, they said
three coming from different directions.
Yeah, they said they had different guys who were on the security team. It's just that Wilson was the one who got the shot first. Because you see this guy, if you
is
look,
Wilson standing up?
Yeah,
already when it happened, he was in the back standing up.
Yeah, they see him over here on the corner. He's over here.
Yeah. Roll it back, Albert,
in his position. But you see, this guy shoots that guy. Comes up to shoot. He shoots that guy, knocks him down, shoots that guy.
one, and then he gets him. Yeah.
And but now as it rolls, and for those of you on radio, now I want you to see here coming from the back center. There's one,
2, 3 over there.
Right, and then here comes another one from the right.
4,
here comes
5,
another one.
6.
All drawn pistols walking towards the action.
Mm-hmm. Now it looks like, and I've never seen this part of it because when I saw those two men were blurred out that just got shot. Mm-hmm. When it looks like the first guy sees he has a gun and tries to go for his gun.
It does look like
that. And he shoots him because at one time I thought, did this guy just come in to shoot these two people? But no, I think he's getting ready to shoot.
Yeah, the one on the left. See, he's reaching out of his back pocket.
Didn't he reach for a gun?
Yeah, he went to his back and pulled out something.
Yeah, of course, then Jack Wilson. I saw one of the NRA's things said, he's been this amount of time an NRA member. Mm-hmm. And made a headshot at a moving target at 50 feet with a pistol and saved 242 lives.
Yeah, there is a clip here. I haven't watched it yet that says that Michael Bloomberg is mad at Jack Wilson that he was carrying a firearm and was able to prevent a massacre at his own Texas church. But I haven't seen the video yet. So we'll screen that.
So what does he want to happen?
I don't know.
He want?
I mean, if you live in a textbook world, then you probably have all kind of answers.
Yeah,
that's real world right there, stopping evil.
Right. I guess in utopia, you never have to defend yourself against evil people. But,
right.
But that's not the world we live in.
No, sadly not.
So anyway, and it's. So I think there's probably 242 members of the church or who are attending the church that are pretty thankful that Jack Wilson knew how to use his weapon and had it with him when they needed him.
I believe you're right.
Right?
Yeah.
All right, so Bloomberg on this, that we've got an armed citizen that is part of a security team, which churches sadly are having to have now. We have a guy come in a hoodie. He's ready to stand up in the church and shoot the place up. He encounters two security people pretty quick, sadly shoots them, and then Jack Wilson shoots him in the head and drops him within 6 seconds, saving 242 lives.
I think it is a great example of a private citizen using his right to defend himself and to save other people. Now, Michael Bloomberg,
unbelievable,
who is running for president, has a totally different take on this, and in my opinion, this is why he is not fit to be president.
Thank you. And here it is.
In his own words.
Yeah.
It may be true, I wasn't there, I don't know the facts, that somebody in the congregation had their own gun and killed the person who murdered 2 other people, but it's the job of law enforcement to have guns and to decide when to shoot. You just do not want the average citizen carrying a gun in a crowded place.
All right, listen.
Now, he made that statement in it looked like Montgomery, Alabama.
Really?
Isn't that what the podium had on it?
I wasn't even looking. Does it say that? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Good grief. Listen to me. Bubba, you said it, but I think we got to emphasize it again. This should terrify you if you're a citizen of this country. You just heard someone trying to be the president that believes you should live in a country that only the government has guns.
If he was elected president, will swear an oath to the Constitution that goes directly against what he just said.
Yep.
And you don't have to be a constitutional lawyer. It's in plain English.
Matter of fact, it's so.
And he's a socialist who's made $1 billion as a capitalist.
Yeah.
It's so bizarre to me how they think and how they act based on. Look, I'm not jealous that he made $1 billion. Good for him. I'm not jealous he has a Bloomberg network. Good for him. But then don't make it impossible for the rest of us to do that and take our ability to earn money and try to move up the ladder, which is what a socialist like him and a lot of these other ones do. But you want to be president, and you just told me you disagree with the Second Amendment. So how can you swear an oath to uphold it? You can't.
And remember, the Second Amendment is so clear, it's why so far the left can't find a way to defeat it.
Oh, yeah.
But you have to go back to this again. Listen, that is the stuff that communist regimes say.
You want me to get the Adolf Hitler quote from 1939?
We will take this guns off the street. We will take the guns out of law-abiding citizens to make you safer. But what they're not understanding, our Second Amendment is designed so that you always have a shot to retain your freedom, and you also have a shot to defend yourself. Let's say that we all said, hey, Bloomberg makes a good point. It's not even reasonable. How in the world can you have law enforcement at every church, at every soft target, at every gun-free zone, all over a country that has the population that we have and the number of churches that we have? If we declare tomorrow only people at the churches are going to be law enforcement, there's not enough of them. And they certainly don't have time to be down at the church trying to take get somebody to write them a check to come to church every Sunday. There's not enough of them.
Rick, let's just say that this church had 2 police officers there, and they were the first 2 guys this guy encountered. He dropped them both. Mm-hmm. Third guy is the one that stopped the massacre, not 1 and 2.
Now what?
Let's hear it again. I want to hear it again from Michael Bloomberg's own mouth. This is someone that wants to be president of the United States.
It's the job of law enforcement to have guns and to decide when to shoot. You just do not want the average citizen carrying a gun in a crowded place.
Now, they say this, but that is what they put out there, but they don't really believe it. I don't think he really believes it either. It's just like Rosie and some of the other ones that are anti-gun. Michael Bloomberg has people around him with guns. See, they really don't feel that way. They just don't want you to have what they got. No, I promise you, everybody around him is not a police officer.
Yeah, he doesn't believe in his personal life, but he absolutely believes it in your life.
Absolutely,
he doesn't want you to have it.
He's real high and mighty with his ideas with your life and your family, not his.
What you're saying is he has a security team, just like this church had a security team.
Right. Yeah. Probably off-duty, retired or former FBI police officers, whatever, just like what this guy was.
But I got news for him. I got news for Bloomberg.
It ain't his. I'll make it real clear.
There you go.
Michael Bloomberg, it ain't none of your damn business.
Hey.
Okay.
Show number 2.
Can I make it clear?
Show 2.
Can I make it clear?
I didn't hear you, Bo. What'd you say?
I don't have to repeat it. It ain't none of your business.
Right.
Because I have the right under the Constitution to defend myself, and it ain't you or anybody else can take that away from me. And if you want to be president and you're going to swear an oath to the Constitution, you need to be honest. You don't need to run for president because you don't believe in the ideals that run this country.
Well, based on your statement, as you just said, you need to go look to be leader of another country.
Sure.
You can't be of this one.